Today we have the last of the 5 eyeshadow palettes that Lisa Eldridge recently released in her holiday collection. So today we're going to put to the test the Myth eyeshadow palette, which is inspired after the Mauve Decade. So I'm very excited to see how this one performs. I will link all of my other videos testing the other 4 palettes that she released in the description box down below for you guys. And before we get into the video, let's go ahead and do the YouTubey things. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're gonna go to desk view, do swatches and all that jazz, and then create a look. So let's get into it. This is the Myth eyeshadow palette from Lisa Eldridge. All of the same standard details as her other palettes. If you haven't seen, I've already got a few videos of the other palettes up on my channel. I do have all 5, so I will link all of my Lisa Eldridge playlists in the description box, as well as all the products and all that kind of stuff. So this one is the same as every other palette. Beautiful, sleek gold packaging, her stunning logo, the name of the palette, the name of the shades in the formula, and the expiry of 24 months, and you can pop all these shades out just like the other ones to create, you know, your perfect palette. So this one is Myth, which is this stunning little eggplanty purple palette. It is very, very pretty. I wasn't originally going to pick this up because I will admit I don't normally wear a lot of, more so this purple I think was throwing me off, but I do love these cool tony purples, so I will get use out of those. Now Lisa describes this palette as adorn your eyes in a rich synergy of decadent colour from lavender grey and smoked amethyst to pure violet. Myth palette takes its inspiration from the Mauve Decade and Victorian Gothic hues. As you can see, I have not touched this palette at all yet. So we're gonna go ahead and do my arm swatches that I do, and then our individual hand swatches, and then we'll create a look together. So let's do it. So now let's do the individual hand swatches. First up we have Uoma, which is a velvet shadow, and it's a deep blackened violet. In the pan it just looks like a straight up black, but it isn't. It is actually more of like a deep brown violet. Exactly how she's or blackened violet. It's really how she's described it. It kind of almost looks just to me like the violet and the black shades in here have kind of just turned it to almost like a really cool tone dark brown, but you can see a slight purple hue to it. Next up we have Illusionism, and it is a top coat. It's a transparent base with ultraviolet sparkly pearls, and I think you can very clearly see that there. And again, I really love these top coats. And I think a top coat where it is this kind of like duochrome pinky purpley shift is really cool, because if you're kind of afraid of wearing that kind of color, you can really put this on the eye and it's going to be super subtle for you. Very pretty. I mean, you can see like even that as a highlighter will look quite pretty. Next up we have Mauve Decade, which is a velvet shade, and it is a muted grey lavender, and I love it. This is the kind of shade I would 100% wear as a one and done shadow. It reminds me a little bit of Andy from the retro palette from Natasha Denona, but more cool tone and like muted. That one's a little bit more purple, whereas this is more neutral. But oh, absolutely stunning. I hands down would wear this as a one and done. Now we have Faded Amethyst, which is a satin slash metallic, and it's smoky and lustrous taupey amethyst, and it's beautiful, but I will say it definitely feels like the most chunky metallic out of all of the palettes I've swatched so far. It does feel a bit dense. Think like the Vive formula almost is kind of how it feels. And I know it doesn't have a lot of shine to it. It is quite pretty. So I know a lot of you with mature lids will actually probably really, really like this formula. Now we have Victorian Trim, which is a velvet shade as well. And it is described as a rich and brown, vibrant mulberry. And like perfect description again. I love a mulberry shade. I really do. I love these kind of cranberry shades. They're brilliant as one and dones with like deep purple vampy lips. Oh, so pretty. Last but not least, we have Violet Stone, which is a velvet shade as well. So all velvets in here, no seamless mattes. And it's a pure violet. And this is actually my least favorite shade out of all of her palettes. It's just not my kind of a purple. I know a lot of people do love this purple, and it does actually suit me, but it's just not something I would naturally gravitate towards and pick. But I can see that a lot of people would love this, and it will be a really good deepening shade. So that is all the swatches of Myth. Let's go ahead and create an eye look. Let's dip into this shade first. This one is, I always get Mauve Decade, which is a velvet. I'm gonna take this on a BKA 305. I'm probably just gonna do, you know, the same style of look that I've pretty much done for every other video. I'm really not that original, and also because of my little hooded eyes, you know, there's certain shapes that suit them, and that's what I like to cater to. I'm just gonna start by working this into the outer corner a little bit, and then I'll bring it forward through the crease. I think this shadow will be a lovely one and done. I really, really do. I'm actually just gonna pack some of this on first with my finger. I think just want some bit stronger of a pigment. I find with Lisa's mattes a little bit, well, most of her shadows, if you just want like a bit more strong pigment to begin with, then just like pack it on with your finger and then blend it out if you need to. But then if you want like a soft look, you can just go directly in with the brush, so it's quite tailorable. We're gonna go in with this one right now, which is Velvet. It's Violet Stone and it's a velvet shade. BKA 502 brush. And I'm gonna go in with this because this is the shadow that I would least use, and I wanna see what it looks like and maybe if I'm wrong. Maybe I should change my preference, you know? So I'm gonna add a little bit of Vavoom just to the outer corner. Just actually gonna switch to a REFY 14. You could just skip this step completely, by the way, if you wanted to keep this a little bit soft and wearable. I mean, this probably will be wearable to most of you, but if it's not, just skip this step. Just dipping back into this shadow with that same brush we were using before. I'm just gonna use this to buff it out a little bit. Now we're gonna go into this beautiful cool tony purple, which is Faded Amethyst, and it's a straight metallic. And I'm just going to pop it on with my finger because I do want like that max intensity. That is actually really pretty. I really like that. It might not pop that much just because the tones that I'm already wearing it with are quite similar. So it's not going to like vavoom out when the tones all look quite monochromatic. But even just like neutralize with that shadow would just, oh, it would be stunning, honestly. I'm just taking my REFY 14 again, and I'm gonna go into this one right here, which is Nocturna, and it's a velvet shadow as well. And I'm just going to do a kiss of it, really. See how I didn't put much, but it's made a slight difference. And then lastly, let's go into this shadow, which is Illusionism. It's a top coat, so it's got no base to it, and it's got like that, it's like a duochrome. I'm just gonna tap this. Oh, that's really pretty over the top. That's very pretty. I don't know, it's quite fine and subtle, so I don't know how much that will pick up on camera, but if you could see it in real life, and if you were, say, going to dinner with like that low lighting, and it would hit your eye and it would look amazing, like truly. It's got that kind of a vibe to it. Yeah, I really like that. I actually surprisingly like Myth a lot more than Muse, and I thought I would like Muse a lot more than Myth, so there you go. We're gonna leave this here for now. I'm gonna do the speed through of my base makeup, and then we'll come back and wrap up the look. You know the deal by now, so let's go ahead and get into it. Alrighty, my base makeup is on. I just love that Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation. It just is so smoothing on my skin. Let's go into this shadow right here. This is a Sephora Precision Shadow Brush. Also, I should tell you, I have the Charlotte Tilbury Black Eyeliner Tightlined, the LH Cosmetics Greige Core Crayon on my lower waterline, and the Saie Mascara on. And now, let's go in with this purple shade. You know, for someone who says they don't like purple, I really feel like purple suits me. Especially this like cool tone purple. I shouldn't say I don't like purple, I do. I just don't like royal purple. This kind of purple I'm okay with. Let's go in with this one. Okay, let's do lips. Honestly, you could nearly even just keep the lip gloss on. I've got the Lawless lip gloss on in the shade Rosy, but you know the Natasha Denona My Dream lip trio is just, or lipstick and lip liner is just gonna look perfect with this, so let's do that. Let me go and do my hair and all that jazz, and then we will wrap this video up, so 2 seconds. This is the finished look. What do you guys think? I really like it a lot more than I thought I would as well, which is great. You always want that when you buy, you know, an expensive makeup product. But I think these purples actually are a lot more wearable than even when you look in the pan that I was anticipating. So I'm really happy, and I really like this shade, and I really like this topper shade. I just don't think it's gonna pick up well on camera, but in real life it just really is really beautiful. So I'm really happy with Myth. There you go. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'd be super interested to see what you think of Myth, if you have it or if you're planning on picking it up. And that is it. That is all 5 Lisa Eldridge eyeshadows that we have tried here on my channel. Again, they'll be linked down below for you guys. I think I'm going to do a roundup video of all 5, so stay tuned for that. If you're watching till this point, you're an absolute legend. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. If you haven't already, pretty please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe. It helps my channel so much, and I truly appreciate it. And I hope that you have the most amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye!